and our 4th anniversary. There'll be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique Dupree, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
We love you. Love you.
You always go out of your way to impress me. Don't you know by now, ain't no need to impress me. I'm impressed every time you smile. When I feel like you mean to smile. 'Cause you can be so very beautiful when you are who you are. Every morning when you wake up, you put on a new disguise.
This is our Juneteenth selection for today. Some Gil Scott-Heron. As we free ourselves, we continue to get the message that we are free, or we're supposed to be free. We're in the process of being free. And one of the people I know that's really concerned with you getting free happens to also be the very first voice on our very first day of this show. Well, I was the first one. He was the second one. He is one of the lead organizers with Black Lives Matter Los Angeles. He's got a title that I never remember with Black Lives Matter Grassroots, and he's the founder of the Fannie Lou Hamer Institute. Also my colleague, because he's one of the rotating hosts of This Is Not a Drill.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be on this Saturday.
Okay, you're hosting? Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
Day after tomorrow. Akili, good morning.
Good morning, good
they
morning.
They call you Baba Akili. Baba
Yes.
means father. It's kind of like an honorific, right?
Yes. And I have to tell people sometimes that that's a title, not my name.
Yeah.
So that
because we
yeah. But good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I see you got your Juneteenth Freedom Day shirt on.
Yes.
Okay.
We're
Breaking chains.
Yes, we're going to be, BLMLA is going to be at our center, at the Center for Black Power right across the street. And we're going to be out there around 11 all day. We're going to be outside with games and food and just in education materials and just enjoying ourselves and celebrating this day.
For those who don't know, the Center for Black Lives Matter LA Center for Black Power is right by the Lamert Park train station.
Yes.
It used to be owned by an Israeli arms dealer, as I understand it.
Yes.
And many people had tried to buy it over the years. Finally, Black Lives Matter LA was able to get it. And now it's just a hub for all kinds of community activity.
Yes. And one of the interesting things about it was that there was a covenant on it. I mean, when it was first developed in the late 30s. And the covenant was, of course, not to sell to colored people, Jews, and so we got that covenant and burned it. So
it was still there. It was still there on paper.
Yeah. The attorney, I think that helped us negotiate the buying the buildings found it, and I remember we had this big ceremony at the Center for Black Power. And he brought it in and stuff. So yeah,
that's wild. I mean,
we own it.
That a building that was being used to store weaponry right in the heart of the black community, and then at some point it was a bank. that had a covenant not to sell to black people, Jews, or BIPOC people would end up being owned by Black Lives Matter LA is really poetic justice.
It is. And I think that it's an example. I've been through over 5 decades now. And one of the things that we didn't do, certainly in the earlier days, is we didn't always look down the road as far as we should or could and buy things and develop things. We were either under pressure externally or not developing as fast as we need to internally. So the fact that Black Lives Matter Los Angeles owns the building, it's become a hub. It's where we have our meetings, where we do things like this. But the fact that we own it, I think, is an example of the progress and development that the movement has made over the years.
Yeah. Well, it's important, I think, to note those kinds of things right now, especially because it seems like so many things that folks fought for are being taken away.
We are literally being erased. By the end of this year, we will be erased. We, black folks, black accomplishments, black achievements, black contributions are under attack. They've always been under attack and questioned, but rarely as openly, rarely as directly. And what this administration and this president is doing is projecting and protecting whiteness in ways that many of us haven't seen since the days of Jim Crow.
But you really can't erase us, can you? I mean, we're everywhere.
Well,
we're in the culture, we're in the food, we're in the museums, we're in fashion. Like, how do you erase us?
Well, look at what's happening. Take the African American History Museum in Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. So you can't erase that. It's there. But you can water down, you can take out, you can make what's there less offensive to white people. I mean, so you don't erase us. So we're still there, but the value is under attack. So you're right. We won't be erased because I think we've done too much in the last 55, 60 years, 70 years or so for us to be completely erased. But we can be diminished. We can be dismissed. We can be denied.
Temporarily, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I'm not, blind. I see what they're trying to do. But I just feel like it's really important for us not to say we're going to be erased.
Yes, you're right.
Because I feel like they've been trying to do that, and it never works. Go on, ban the doggone books. Now all the kids are going to read them. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
and I think that certainly I can remember, and most of us can remember when we were younger, and the adults, and certainly in our music traditions, like, oh, don't listen, that's the devil music, don't listen to that. We couldn't wait to listen to that.
Right, exactly.
So banning these books is an invitation to a lot of young people. So you're right. Then we're not going to be ever erased. However, there were a lot of efforts, a lot of attacks, a lot of focus on diminishing us, reducing us, and if possible, eliminating us.
Yeah, I mean, meanwhile, the Trump administration is banning books on military bases. It's funny because I don't know why. I miss my dad all the time, but he was Amir Barack Ali Roy Jones was kicked out of the Air Force because he had too many books. That was the real reason. Yeah. They said he must be a communist because he read too many books. And he wasn't a communist back then. He later went on to become a communist, but at the time, he wasn't. And it was just because he had too many books. Takes us to where we are right now, where this administration is limiting the books that are available to people in the military. I think you have more freedom to read in jail these days than you do in the Army.
Yeah, and I think, but that's the hallmark of a fascist, because the first thing they want to do is limit information, and they want to limit and control and direct information. First, they want to limit the information you have access to. They want to control it so that you only have access to the right information, or according to them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and those are classic tactics of a fascist. And this president has fascist written all over his orange forehead.
Mm-hmm. Well, some states are taking the opposite action. Like New Jersey has prohibited banning books from schools and public libraries. They have a law that says you can't ban books. It's against the law to outlaw books. It was signed Monday. No, I'm tripping. That was from last year. But there was another state, I'm not sure which one it was, that banned book bans on Monday. So, I mean, there's pushback in the opposite direction. Does any good come out of this horrible authoritarian fascist trend that we're seeing right now?
No, but but I should tell you, one of the things that your father talked about.
Not at all.
Yeah, your father always talked about the people cannot be fodder. Because I know some people say, well, that when it gets bad, we'll get together. No, we can't do that. Yeah, he talked about the people cannot be fodder. And so, I mean, it certainly has galvanized our attention. It certainly has brought us together in ways that a few years ago we wouldn't have thought the need to come together. But it has done that. And I'm surprised, quite frankly, that he hasn't signed an executive order outlawing, not outlawing, because it's not a law, an executive order trying to overturn Juneteenth. And so there wouldn't be this acknowledgement and celebration of Juneteenth. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to do that.
Apparently, he needs Congress to do that. I was just reading about it.
Yeah, but you need Congress to do away with the education department too.
Yeah, that's true.
That didn't seem to
and
matter.
USAID and
all the rest of that stuff.
Good point. Yeah.
So having Congress, it doesn't seem to matter with him, and so and the fascists around him. That in my reflection, the difference between the two the two terms that the first term, he was, I think, borderline surprised himself that he was there. And so he surrounded himself with the more traditional kind of people. Very few of them worked out. This time he went in with the kind of ideological people that projected and reflected his thinking, what he wants to see, and they're just unleashed to do it, and they're incompetent. And so the combination of ideology, a false ideology, a dangerous ideology, and incompetency is a dangerous concoction, and we see it in what's happening now. And so. Part of, I think, what is being seen, and maybe some of the buyer's remorse that some people, which I dismiss. I don't believe that. People knew what they were getting. They knew that this man was a felon. They knew that this person had been convicted of 32 felonies. They knew that he had. That he had been sued in court, for sexual abuse and the rest. We knew all that, but people voted for him anyway. So it's now, and he said what he was going to do, and he's in many ways doing it. And there was a lot of talk about this Project 2025, and ever since I can remember, that foundation has always tried to engage presidents to try to get them to do their policy will. This is the only president that I've known of that not embraced it. And now he tried to walk away from it a little bit, but he's embraced it. He's brought in people that embrace it and they're looking to implement it. And so I don't buy this buyer's remorse kind of stuff.
Interesting. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. The very first voice that came on with me 4 years ago when we started this radio station. Not this show, but this whole radio station is here with me. Akili is his name, and you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominic DiPrima when we come forward.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say.
Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the second consecutive year with our Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, call the bomb.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There'll be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique diprimaradio, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA.
Love you.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for. For this free information, call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. That's 800-433-8909. Or simply visit godra.com.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique diprimaradio on First Things First.
It does, and Akili is here. Man, so much interesting stuff going on. I want to remind folks, I was last night, I got to go to Tavis Smiley's C-SPAN panel at the Nate Holden Theater. It was on C-SPAN. It was an incredible lineup of folks there, and it was the first of our parties for Juneteenth. A great crowd. Dr. Cornel West brought the house down with a fiery speech. And we're having our second one today. Well, I can't tell you where it is. It's a secret. Not only that, you got to register. There's just a few seats left. So I'm going to ask you to go to KBLA1580.com. You can sign up. It's free. I want you to bring a gift card of any size for groceries or a restaurant. We're still helping out the folks displaced by the Altadena fire. And we want to party with you for our anniversary. That barbecue is today. It's free. You just have to register. And then my event is Saturday, the State of Black Women in LA. 2 great panels, including Dr. Melina Abdullah will be on one of my panels. Then we'll have lunch. That's also free. And we're going to talk and fellowship and hang out. Again, KBLA1580.com is where you go. Empowerment Congress is having an event. That one's there too. We're co-sponsoring it. They are all free. All you got to do is show up online before you show up in person. And the Black Lives Matter LA Center for Black Power is having an event today, and a little bit different than what y'all usually do, or maybe not. Usually you're having fun dancing and eating out at a protest. Today it's at the center itself, and I understand there's going to be some dominoes and spades being played and things of that nature. And that's also free and open to the community, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It starts at 12 o'clock today, and it's going to be at 3423 West 43rd Place, right on the corner of 43rd Place and Crenshaw, and it is a celebratory kind of thing. We, like I said, we're going to have dominoes and cards, and you can
probably line dancing. Y'all always love to be line dancing.
Yes, and some of us are still learning boots on the ground.
Well, some of us haven't started learning it. I can fan though.
Yes, well,
and I can fan and look cute.
And I'm sure Melina will be there with dominoes in hand because she is the domino queen. She is undefeated.
Really?
Even though when we were in Grenada, she did meet her match down there. But other than that, she is clearly the domino queen.
I didn't know she was undefeated. Dang.
Undefeated. And one of the things that she's undefeated, and I played her once or twice, a couple of times, and lost badly each time.
You learned your
badly
lesson.
Each time. Yeah, I think her eyes were closed too.
Oh man, I'm not even gonna try it because to me, dominoes is math.
Yes.
But I know they're gonna take my black card. It's okay. In any case, that's something to do today. Today's a holiday for many. Some folks have the day off, and the Center for Black Power right there in the community, across from the actual park part of Leimert Park on the Metro station side. It's free, and I understand you guys are having all the stereotypical black refreshments, red sodas, and fried chicken, and watermelon.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
It is. Melina has Texas roots, and so she wants to make sure, because when I was growing up, Juneteenth was seen as basically sisters and brothers from Texas, because they were the ones who popularized it and who always did it. And so when I lived in Florida, but the celebration and stuff was always done by sisters and brothers from Texas, and so we kind of saw it as that. And it certainly wasn't the kind of
it
holiday.
Originates in Texas, right?
Yes.
Jubilee Day. Yeah. Dr. Cornel West made a really interesting point last night, Akili. He said, he said it way better, and it was in a fiery speech, so he was, soaring platitudes. But he said that the enslaved persons in Texas did know they were free. It's not that we didn't know, he said. It's that freedom didn't mean anything to the Confederate Army, so they didn't have the means to enforce their freedom. We didn't have the means to enforce our freedom. So it's not that we were so stupid that we didn't get the memo because we didn't have the internet. It's because there was no way to get free. The Emancipation Proclamation was not being enforced by the troops there in Texas. So until the Union Army got there, freedom was just a concept.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of documentation that supports that position that black folks knew it, but it's one thing to know it. It's one thing to be able to celebrate it, and I think the point is when the Union troops ran out the rebel troops, then it could be celebrated. But prior to that, there's a lot of stories that I've read over the years about the plantations owners wanted to keep people enslaved because they still trying to bring in their crops. And like you said, there was nobody there to enforce it.
Let's get one more year out of these enslaved persons.
Yep. And so there was and it wasn't until the Union troops got there to not only to tell them, because I think there's enough evidence to say that they knew about it. It was not only are you free, you can be free. And so it's one thing to know, it's another thing to be.
Yeah, that's just so different from the narrative that we're usually told. It's like they were just happily doing
living their lives,
and then somebody said, "You know what? You're free." Oh, I didn't get the memo.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense because the hood grapevine had to be strong, like it's always been, had to be even stronger back in the days of enslavement. When people were reading people's braid patterns and spiritual songs had special meanings, and we were getting maps, of the stars through drum patterns. I can't imagine it could be less strong than it is now.
And there's enough evidence to support that, particularly in and around Gulfport, where there's ports. There's a lot of traffic and people coming, going, and the rest. And so there's enough evidence that the people in and around at least knew about the proclamation. And like you said, as long as there were rebel troops there, and their own, and the enslavers, then knowing about a proclamation and being able to implement it and celebrate it is really very different. And so it's really not that they learned about it, because there's enough evidence to say that they knew about it, but could they in fact live it? Could they be free?
Right, yeah. It's two different things. We only have 30 seconds till news, traffic, and sports, inviting you in to call 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I'm going to pose this question. We'll talk about it when we come forward, and we'll unpack some of these crazy stories coming out of our nation, not just the Capitol, all 50 states, but certainly the Supreme Court is on one. When Joe Biden declared Juneteenth a national holiday, it almost seemed frivolous. Right now, in the environment we're in, I'm wondering if it is a weapon against the erasure that you started out talking about today, and if so, how do we hold the line or push the line on that in our celebrations? Happy Juneteenth. Akili's here. I'm Dominique DiPrima, and this is KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with BIN News Now. The Supreme Court is backing a Tennessee law that blocks gender transition care for minors, including black minors. The ruling from the court will likely cause wide impact on 24 other states that have similar laws to the one in Tennessee. The law bans transition surgery, puberty blockers, and hormone therapy. This move has gotten opposition from many who support LGBTQ rights.
Why can cisgender young people receive the treatment and transgender young people not? And the difference is their sex. That's sex discrimination.
50 Cent is defending Tyler Perry from sexual assault claims. On Instagram, the rapper shared a photo of him with Perry and questioned the allegations made against his friend. In another post, 50 reaffirmed that he didn't believe the claims. Tyler Perry is being sued for $260 million by actor Derek Dixon, who worked on several of his shows. Today is Juneteenth, celebrating the end of slavery in the U.S. Get BIN News Now on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
Temecula Valley Balloon and Wine Music Festival by Events.com is happening June 20th through 22nd, featuring Walker Hayes, Cody Jinks, Alabama, Russell Dickerson, Midland, Big and Rich, and more. Get 3-day or single-day tickets now at TemeculaValleyFestival.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Indiana Pacers have a major injury concern heading into a must-win situation for Game 6 Thursday night in the NBA Finals. Point guard Tyrese Halliburton has a strained right calf. The Pacers aren't sure if he'll be able to play. Halliburton labored through the pain in the Pacers' loss in Game 5 at Oklahoma City. He was 0 for 6 in shot attempts in 36 minutes and finished with only 4 points, all from the free throw line. OKC has a 3-2 lead in the best-of-7 finals. The LA Sparks continue to struggle. They were blown out at home Tuesday night by Seattle, a 31-point loss. At 4-9, the Sparks are one of 7 WNBA teams below 500. 3 HBCU baseball players were invited to this week's Major League Baseball Draft Combine in Phoenix. Infielder Juan Cruz of Alabama State, Florida A&M catcher Brody Popo, and Southern University outfielder Cardell Thibodeau. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. S&P volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an S&P open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. you make a difference. Visit caspvolunteer.org. Protect yourself from Medicare card scams. Scammers may call, email, or even knock on your door claiming they need your Medicare info, asking for money or threatening to cancel your benefits. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. Remember, Medicare doesn't need to verify your information. They already have it. Medicare won't charge you for a new card and will never threaten to cancel benefits. Check your Medicare statements for suspicious charges and report scams to the California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080. We're here to help. Are you ready to play? Then jump into the LA84 Foundation's Free Playdate Block Party, a community celebration for all ages, including live music, dancing, LA's pro sports teams, great local food trucks, plus special giveaways for you to take home. Enjoy an exciting, fun-filled day for the entire family. Join us Saturday, June 28th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at 2141 West Adams Boulevard. To register, go to la84.org. We'll see you Saturday, June 28th at LA84 Foundation's Free Playdate Block Party.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate meets a scholarly match.
Its scholarly match is a man named Akili today. He is one of the lead organizers for BLMLA, the founder of the Fannie Lou Hamer Institute, and the national field coordinator. Is that it? I got it.
Yes, you got it.
I got my brain turned on. Yes, it only took till 7:36. My brain turned on. National field coordinator for Black Lives Matter Grassroots, which is the actual real authentic
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Okay, we got a couple people on the phone. Want to go to the phone lines. I got stuff for you, but we'll prioritize our KBLA delegation right now. We're going to go to JW calling from South Central. Good morning, JW.
Hey, good morning. With your dad being kicked out the Air Force, they probably see him as a risk because he was too intelligent and, real talk, And with your symposium, Myron Wiley, I would love to get her insight, but I know she has a lot to offer in terms of strategy and solutions and
pushback. She won't be at my event. She'll be at the one for the Empowerment Congress.
Oh, the Empowerment.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the Mark Ridley Thomas event. That's going to be an amazing thing too. You could do both, but you're going to have to be real busy on Saturday, and you can sign up. They're both free, and they're both on the website. Yeah, I'm
going to try to make it. Is Condoleezza Rice going to be there as well? Because I know she has
Condoleezza Rice. No, I don't know where you heard that rumor. She's definitely not unapologetically progressive. Yeah, you might be thinking of her cousin, Connie Rice. But I don't know that Connie Rice is scheduled at either one of them. We've got a great lineup, though.
Connie Rice. So I misspoke. But I know
they are actually cousins. Yeah, they are cousins.
I know she has a lot of input because I listen to her when she speaks to Tavis all the time. Mm-hmm. But with Trump, this guy, we cannot underestimate this guy and the Heritage Foundation because, they have hidden agendas and they pretty much have implemented. Well, it's out in the open because they're arrogant and cocky-legged, so they're being really bold. But the point I would like to make is that, they are a danger, but us with numbers, their power and strength with numbers, and the Constitution say we the people. Like last Saturday when we got out there and demonstrated we are a viable force, especially with God on our side.
Yep. Well, Bob, Akili, what's your response? You said you didn't think it was hidden. I think JW agreed with you. When we talk about the Constitution, it does invoke the power of the people, which is the whole idea of a, democratic republic. But it seems like right now, in some ways, the power of the people is being overridden.
And one of the things that the opposition hasn't accepted, and we haven't accepted, is that this is an ideological president and an administration. We haven't had this kind of ideology open and in our face in a long time. And we want to treat it as if it's just, the Democrats are saying that sooner or later people will get over the fever, as if this is just some kind of fluke or, No, it is an ideological position based on white supremacy, institutional racism, individual bigotry, and mass denial. And this president is about that ideology.
Well, I think the reason that we do that is because it seems so corrupt that it seems like it's just about pilfering the national treasury. It seems like it's just about greed. But you're saying, no, it's not just that. There's actual authoritarian, fascist, white supremacist philosophical underpinnings that are real. And if you look at Project 2025, they're pretty clearly articulated.
Yes, and that's why I reject this notion about the buyer's remorse. We knew this. What we didn't factor in was that it was going to be so blatant, so in your face, so crude.
I mean, you have to have seen the videos of people crying, right? Because they lost a loved one who got deported, and I really feel like there is some buyer's remorse because people thought it won't be me. They're going to deport criminals. They're going to target, criminals, and it's not been that.
But that's what I mean. The ideology is at work here. It's not. I mean, the criminals was the pretext.
Yeah, but I'm saying the buyer's remorse is people that believe the hype. Oh, he won't get me. Oh, they only want criminals. Yeah. They just want to make America great again. It's just those bad black people from Haiti or those, Ishhole countries or whatever they were telling themselves. It's only the cartels. And now, there is some FAFO. I don't delight in that, by the way.
Yes, and one of the things that I reflect and in many ways regret on, Obama deported over 5 million people. At one point, he was identified as the deporter in chief. And he did it very differently. And he did target people who had violated the law and arrest. And if I remember the figure correctly, it's 5,300,000 people. This man, though, on the other hand, and he could, and Trump could, if he took that same approach, could be, I guess, as successful.
Well, but he couldn't because Obama already got rid of the criminals, so now he's got to go. I mean, if he wants to hit those numbers, he has to turn people into criminals by revoking their status.
He wants to send a message domestically and internationally. Well, domestically first, and that's happening. People are frightened.
What is the message?
The message is you don't belong here, and we're going to get rid of you.
Right. And how's that working out? Now he's trying to say, we didn't mean you if you work in restaurants or at farms or in hotels.
Well, and the other thing that I find interesting is that they're not in the southern areas where they have those chicken farms and those chicken plants, where
the meat packing plants.
Yes.
The jobs that most Americans won't do.
Yes.
Just also follow up on what JW said. My panel includes Cynthia Mitchell-Hurd, who's the leader of the LA Urban League, the leader of the United Teachers of Los Angeles, Cecily Mayart-Cruz, Attorney Nana Gyamfi, Black Alliance for Just Immigration, LA City Council member Heather Hutt, columnist Erica Smith, Judge Songhai Armstead, the leader of Justice Care and Opportunities Department for LA County, Dr. Mandel Briggs Mallinson from UCLA Health, Dr. Melina Abdullah, and Jeanette Robinson Flint. So it's quite a stacked panel.
It is. And with that kind of intellectual power and real power, that's going to be a dynamic an opportunity. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, indeed. Let's go to Ira calling us from Gardena. I'm going to let you talk to Ira. He's one of our Republican listeners, and Ira, I'm giving you some grace here. You know. Oh, it's not Ira. It's Ina. Okay. Hi, Ina. Never mind the preamble.
Hello there, Dominique.
Hi. What's on your mind?
And brother Akili.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Wanted to say three things first. Yes, the program last night for C-SPAN was exceptional. Like Brother Akili said, I like the word when he said it was dynamic. Also, Dominique, I could make tea cakes. Yeah, my mom and grandmother made them with pecans in them.
Ooh, that sounds yummy. Tea cakes with pecan. See, we were talking tea cakes yesterday, Akili, because we had Mrs. Etha Robinson on, who is apparently the commissioner of tea cakes. And tea cakes have been declared the official dessert of Juneteenth.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. Right. It's a shout out to Black Lives Matter Grassroots.
Thank you so much.
Family, the family organization, AMLI.
Ah, yes.
And CJAC.
Okay.
Also, the
little roll call.
That
I'm sorry.
At the Museum of African American Art, LA. That's on the second floor of the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall.
Right.
For Juneteenth, they're going to have a board. I believe it's called like a legacy board, where you could write a freedom statement, and then they're going to archive that as a legacy statement for the museum.
Okay, that's nice. So that's a great project, something to do if you happen to have the day off today. It's always a great trip up to the second floor of the mall. If you of the mall we almost bought, well, the people almost bought. It wasn't me. Akili, you were involved in that.
Yes, and I'm glad that the museum is still there, because I know when the May Company closed and moved, there was some concern about what was going to happen with that. So I'm glad that's happening, and so you can go by and leave a note, a message for the legacy.
Yeah.
Correct. Right.
All right. Thank you for that, Ina. I appreciate you. I appreciate the roll call, and we'll be looking forward to tasting your tea cakes with pecans.
I'll have to make some more.
Do we say pecans or pecans? I'm not sure. I say pecans. 800-920-1580. That's the number. Ina called. We're going to take more phone calls. We got more to unpack. All that straight ahead. You know where you're at. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Every mother deserves a healthy and joyous pregnancy and birth. And every baby deserves to thrive. That's why the Los Angeles County Abundant Birth Project is here. The Abundant Birth Project is a guaranteed income program that provides cash during pregnancy to pregnant individuals at the highest risk of preterm and low birth rate babies. Although program enrollment has closed, our commitment to Black joy and thriving continues. Through tailored services that foster mental well-being and community-based resources, we provide care and support during pregnancy and after the baby is born to help build brighter futures for our families. Join us in celebrating abundant births in LA County. For more information, please visit abundantbirthproject.org. abundantbirthproject.org. Nearly 7 million Americans aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's disease, also known as AD, a type of dementia that affects memory, thinking, and behavior, making everyday tasks challenging. But did you know that Black adults aged 65 and older are twice as likely as white adults to develop AD? There are things you can do to help reduce your risk for developing AD. Managing conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure is crucial. Staying physically active, maintaining social connections, eating a healthy diet, and keeping your mind engaged with activities like reading or puzzles can all contribute to brain health. It's also important to recognize some common signs and symptoms of early AD, such as forgetfulness that causes problems with everyday life, asking the same question a few times in a row, and difficulty concentrating on basic tasks. If you see these signs in yourself or loved one, don't wait. Early diagnosis and intervention are key to managing AD effectively. To learn more about AD and a potential treatment option, visit treatallzearly.com. That's treatallzearly.com. This message is brought to you by AZI.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
It's never too early to start talking about money in realistic ways with your kids. JP Morgan Chase navigates how to educate your kids now about creating long-lasting, healthy money habits. Whether your kids are in elementary school, high school, or college, now is a great time to start a conversation about ways to create healthy money habits as they grow, ultimately benefiting their financial future. Talking about money in a realistic way to support your kids' lifestyle and dreams, your first banking account geared towards high school or college. It's never too early. Explaining the basics, what you earn and what you spend, building financial confidence starts with getting organized. Learning and practicing vital money skills now will stay with them for life. Tools they will have to stay on top of their finances and achieve their goals. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
We don't black down, but we are celebrating. We're celebrating Juneteenth. Akili is here. We're celebrating the 4th anniversary of KBLA 1580.
Congratulations.
Yes, I was blessed to be the very first voice on the air of this new venture 4 years ago. Akili was the second voice on the air, so we're going back. We're taking you back in a time machine. Does it feel like 4 years to you, Akili?
Not at all. Not at all. It seemed, and particularly since I've been here a lot, and
yeah, you're basically a radio air talent now.
Almost.
The career you didn't know you needed.
Yeah, and so it doesn't seem like 4 years. But one of the things that has happened is what KBLA has brought that voice that we have needed, that connects with, elevates, and advances our interests and concerns in ways that was missing 4 years ago. And so we're glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're here, too. Let's go to Fixico calling us from Los Angeles. Hi, Fixico.
Oh, greetings, Madam President.
It's been so long. I thought you didn't love us anymore.
I love you. I love you so much. And I have warm tears of gratitude rolling down my face just to hear your voice again. And Professor Akili, he talked to me. Listen, I just want to say this. My ancestors were Seminole Maroons with the John Horse Band, who escaped the Fugitive Slave Act by escaping into Mexico. They went into Mexico, where they were welcomed con los brazos abiertos, with open arms. Dominic, you speak Spanish, and their descendants, my cousins, are in Nacimiento de los Negros, the birth of the Negroes. They're in that town today. How can I share this at Kennepon or wherever? There's a 4-minute statement that I'm compelled to make as a descendant. And I just want to go to johnhorse.com and you'll see the story, the true story of my people.
Oh, wow.
And one of the things that's not talked about is that black community it's on the east coast of Mexico. and it's a thriving Black community. They celebrate Juneteenth.
In Mexico?
Yes,
that's
yes.
wild.
And it's not talked about a lot or referred to a lot. But there is this nacimiento, the birthplace of Negroes, of Black in that whole region there. It's a town that has a strong history, a strong tradition of celebrating Blackness.
I mean, I remember Dr. Tony Humber used to talk about many different places, Yanga and different places in Mexico and the Third Route. And some Mexican scholars that I used to talk to would also speak on that. I didn't know about a Juneteenth celebration. I do know they abolished slavery about 50 years before the U.S., and some of us successfully escaped to Mexico. I was thinking about asking President Sheinbaum if she'd consider that again if necessary. Like, if I need to get the hell out of here, can we go to Mexico again?
Well, it's interesting.
Can we make a run for the border?
It's interesting. We celebrate the Alamo, but really with that the whole Texas at one point was a nation, and they broke away from they wanted to break away from Mexico because Mexico had outlawed slavery, and of course the whites who were there wanted to maintain slavery, and so that whole Alamo thing was really about how white people could maintain slavery. So I think that's a rich history, that's a rich connection, and a rich legacy, and it comes into play today because some of our sisters and brothers are questioning why it is we are out in the streets, and so we have that relationship.
You mean protesting?
Yes.
Yeah, right. That's a great point as far as why this immigration, these raids and such are our issue as well. But I teed this up and I didn't send it back to you after the break, so let's do it now. A lot of us thought, well, okay, shrug.
Yes.
Biden made Juneteenth a federal holiday, shrug. Many scholars have corrected that viewpoint, reminding us that people actually have been asking for this for a long time and organizing for it. But certainly now, on the other side of the Biden administration, in the return of Trump term, it seems like it could be important.
Well, yes, because they are methodical, deliberate methods at trying to reduce, eliminate, and erase our existence in this society. And we talked about it earlier. That's hard to do because we're here and we have such a prominent position. But this administration is doing everything it can to certainly reduce our presence and our contributions here. I don't suspect they're going to be celebrating Juneteenth in the White House. I mean, he hasn't made any reference to it today. It's just another day for them. I'm surprised that, like I said, that he hasn't tried to use executive order to overturn it.
The day is still young.
Let me start.
Let me Google that and see if he's overturned it yet.
Yeah, but I'm surprised that he hasn't done that. But everything else that he's done, I heard Congressman Clyburn talk about the erasure of Medgar Evers because Medgar Evers was a veteran, and so one of the things that the Department of Defense is doing is purging black people's contribution and gay people and even women's contributions in the Army under the guise of we want to make sure that they're strong and a fighting force kind of thing, and so that's just the kind of effort that a fascist and a racist, the combination of the two, we haven't seen openly and honestly in our faces before. We've seen racism and racist policies coming from presidents. What we haven't seen is the combination of racism and fascism in a way that has been
I'm sorry for laughing. That's
deliberate.
Laugh to keep from crying laughing.
Yes.
But it is worth noting that even though he hasn't signed an executive order, a bunch of municipalities are shrinking their Juneteenth because corporations are not underwriting it due to the ban on diversity, equity, and inclusion dollars. So a lot of these celebrations will be much smaller. And this is actually Ours will be pretty small in LA this year, but who knows? I mean, in Lamert, there's more informal. We have the merchants celebrating, I understand, today, and the vendors will be celebrating at the weekend. There, many cities have their own different Juneteenths, but Pete Hegseth says they're going to take a passive approach to celebrating.
Yeah, and it's a holiday, and so people actually have the time off. So And one of the things that I think that I've heard Melina talk about is that black people should get the time off, not everybody else. I mean, we the ones that were the target of the proclamation, so we should be the ones that benefited, and this shouldn't be some kind of Juneteenth sale day, And come out and join us, the Black Lives Matter LA Black Lives Matter Grassroots, today at 12 o'clock. We're going to be there celebrating, remembering Juneteenth, but more importantly, getting ready for the fight that's ahead of us.
Breaking bread and playing dominoes while getting ready.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good point. So many good points you made, and I'm so glad you could come in today. 4 years later, he's still one of the very first voices of the day on Juneteenth.
And thank you so much for having me.
Davis knew what he was doing. He made Juneteenth the anniversary of this
Yes, that
radio
made
station.
sense. That made sense.
But I guess the point I was coming to is that I feel like Juneteenth, it's going to be hard to erase enslavement. What is Juneteenth? I guess you're right. It could be just another day of sales. Like President's Day.
Yeah.
But I think it makes it a little easier to keep that story alive, that we were enslaved in this country and we freed ourselves.
Yes, and some say, well, that happened a long time ago. Why are you going to keep bringing that up? I always find that argument interesting from a society that celebrates the 4th of July and 9/11 and all the rest. So we always want to remember certain things. We don't want to remember everything. We just want to remember certain things as it relates to white folks.
Akili, thank you so much. I'm Dominique DePrima, and we're gonna keep talking. Call me. Got news, traffic, and sports right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with BIN News Now. The Supreme Court is backing a Tennessee law that blocks gender transition care for minors, including black minors. The ruling from the court will likely cause wide impact on 24 other states that have similar laws to the one in Tennessee. The law bans transition surgery, puberty blockers, and hormone therapy. This move has gotten opposition from many who support LGBTQ rights.
Why can cisgender young